One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on to his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Happy Thirsty Thursday to everyone. Hopefully everyone's enjoying themselves. I definitely know that we are out here. All right, guys, we got a fairly big news day, as you guys probably already know that's what's going to be from here on out, basically. So, anyways, a Brown University Manhunt Day 6, as you guys see on the title. U.S. deadly boat strike. I guess another one happened. And then Trump signs new act at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. And more. That's the way that we have it labeled. But of course, can't fit everything into the title. So let's go ahead and explain to you guys what we have chronologically lined up for everybody. So MIT professor shot and killed in Boston. That just happened, I believe, yesterday. And it was a breaking news story. And then we have Trump speaks at Joint Base Andrews about Venezuela, Dan Bongino, and more. And by the way, the MIT professor shot dead. I don't know if it exactly happened yesterday. Died at a hospital on Tuesday morning after being shot in his apartment in Brookline, Massachusetts. Oh, wow. So it did just happen. So he was 47. Anyways, okay, I just wanted to double check myself here. So then Trump speaks at Joint Base Andrews about Venezuela, Dan Bongino, and more. Then we have breaking news on Bongino that he's going to be stepping down from FBI deputy director and leaving the job next month. And he thanks the administration for giving him the opportunity to do it, but blah, 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 he's not going to do it any further. So Speaker Johnson, after House passes GOP healthcare bill, is going to speak to everybody. I guess this happened yesterday. Let me go ahead and read this. Speaker Mike Johnson has now secured a significant victory as House Republicans passed a bill aimed to reducing healthcare costs. This comes as insurance premiums are set to rise in the coming weeks. The legislation passed 216 to 211. Just one Republican, Rep. Thomas Massey of Kentucky, voted against it, along with all House Democrats. Wow. Okay. Very, very interesting. And that's from the House. And then, as you guys know, yesterday, Trump addressed the nation yesterday evening, and there was a couple of things in there that we want to go ahead and highlight. One of them being that every U.S. troop is going to go ahead and get, anybody that's in the military, is going to get $1,776 as a kind of like a Christmas bonus. But he actually names what that bonus is called, but I can't remember off the top of the head that he used, the nomenclature. But nonetheless, we're going to show you guys that as well today. And then 12 hours ago, ICE in Chicago video captures apparent arrest by federal agents. Now, I don't know because there's a couple of stories going on with ICE right now. Some are like in Chicago, it's just all over the place. So it's really hard for me to keep up with which stories these are, but nonetheless, we're going to find that out together, obviously. Then another drug boat strike kills 4 in Eastern Pacific, U.S. military says. So the U.S. military announced Wednesday that a strike on an alleged drug boat was carried out in the Eastern Pacific, killing 4. And of course, we have the actual the video footage of that. And then new footage shows Brown University shooting person of interest. So that is our lineup so far. But before we get all into it, man, let's go ahead and do the call to actions real quick, and then we can get right into it. Make sure you guys come in and hit the like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. Also, double tap on the screen for the vertical side. Very much appreciate you guys. It's also free to subscribe, by the way. But let me go ahead and get to the money part. Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep these lights on and be on these airwaves. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, music, fucking everything. The campaign trail, make sure you guys follow me over there and direct message me. This is a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for all of you legends in the Insane Wheels family. Make sure you guys join up on that. Naomi will throw a Discord link for all of you guys to join up. And if you guys are watching this on the playback, go down to the video description down below for the links to get in. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I will read out anything that comes our way, just like a super chat. So get involved and be heard, man. So I very much appreciate you guys. And I've got my email up right now, so when anything comes through, we will read it off. All right, real quick, we got Brother Steve Easy gifting out 3 gifted memberships. Let's fucking go, bro. And he says he wants to have a mini membership drive today. So I very much appreciate that, Steve. Thank you for that. And great to see everyone in the chat, man. You guys are all fucking legends. Thank you, Motobomb and the coffee crew for the raid this morning. I very much appreciate that. And thank you for having me on your show this morning. I always do appreciate hanging out with you guys. We got Josh Phillips in the building, as well as Jimmy Mack and Joseph up there in Canada. Always appreciate my man. And yes, money me a lot now. We got Brendan Smith as well as Crystal. Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat. Let's see here. Let's see. We are moving ahead. We got Rabbit of Chaos as well as Tiffany. Good morning to you as well. And we got Perez in the building as well as Mountain Woman. Thank you guys so much. We got Naomi in the building as well saying, send that money, bro. Absolutely. We got Eat My Left Nut, by the way, which is Charles Darwin from Down Under. We always appreciate him hanging out with us. Great to see you in the chat, bro. We got Sick Bastard as well as Kel. Great to see everybody in the chat. I very much appreciate you guys. Let's see. I'm moving as fast as I can because we got to get right into this shit. We got Warland as well. Good morning to you guys. And Crystal Kitten. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's get right into this shit because there's a lot going on. This is the MIT professor shot dead in Boston. And I guess this happened at his house.
And we are also covering another developing
This is a very quick 2 segments that we're going to play here.
story coming in out of Massachusetts, the Boston area here. I want to pop this up on your screen to give you a look at what we're talking about. Now, about 50 miles away from Brown University in Brookline, Massachusetts, there is this other high-profile homicide investigation that's been launched after an MIT professor was gunned down in his own home, but the shooter still on the run as of this.
So do they say the shooter's on the run? Do they have any footage of the dude?
Morning. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office confirms Nuno Loureiro, a 47-year-old physicist and fusion scientist, was shot Monday night at his home near Boston. He was taken to a hospital where he died from his injuries. Now,
make sure you ride safe, Motobomb. Absolutely appreciate it.
Prosecutor's office says, as of last night, there are no suspects in custody, but they have labeled this a quote-unquote homicide investigation that is active, and you can see the photo of the victim right there on your screen. Loureiro joined MIT back in 2016, named last year to lead the school's Plasma Science and Fusion Center, one of the largest labs at the university, with more than 250 people working across about 7 buildings. Loureiro, who was married, grew up in central Portugal and studied in Lisbon before earning his doctorate in London. That's according to information from MIT.
So, please tell me you guys got some fucking... No, they don't have any pictures or any footage of this guy yet.
Now, the school is saying he was a researcher at an institute for nuclear fission before joining the university. The FBI asked whether this shooting could in any way be connected to the Brown University attack. The agency explaining, as of now, it knew of no connection between the crimes. A Boston University student who lives near the professor's apartment in Brookline told the Boston Globe that she heard 3 loud noises Monday night and was worried it was gunfire. The U.S. ambassador to Portugal expressing his condolences online, saying, quote,
"What's up, Jack? Good morning."
"It's not hyperbole to say MIT is where you go to find solutions to humanity's..."
Okay, I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that part of what he was just getting into. Josh, stick to the fucking facts, please. Don't tell me about MIT. All right. So, anyways, Trump speaks at Joint Base Andrews about Venezuela, Don Bongino, and more. And this happened yesterday, full transparency. So let's go and bring this up, and we'll go and discuss it briefly. It's a very quick update.
I do want to go back out now to Joint Base Andrews. We are seeing President Trump come down the steps of Air Force One. This just coming after the dignified transfer. He is going to speak to the media right now. Let's listen in.
All right. Well, that was a beautiful event for 3 great people. And they're now looking down, and their parents and wives and all of the people that were there were, devastated, but great people, great people. So thank you very much for being there. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I can't hear the questions at all, by the way. I hate when they do this right next to the fucking jet, man. It's like, come on, man. Or these helicopters, whatever. I think he's over there with Marine One over there as well as their Air Force One, too, just from the looks.
Just a blockade. Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going through.
Okay, so he's talking about the blockade on oil for, or blockade on Venezuela. So that's what he's talking about right here.
You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil.
You got to remember, we seized a tanker of theirs just last week or so. And those tankers are huge, by the way. They hold anywhere from like 1.1 to 2 million barrels of oil. And it is a lot. I mean, that's barrels, by the way. That's 42 gallons per barrel. So it's a lot of money. And so Trump is talking about one of the reasons why we seized it.
From not that long ago, and we want it back, but they took it. They illegally took it. Oh, Dan did a great job. I think he wants to go back to his show. Yeah. Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching, but they're not going to do that.
What's up, Shay? Good morning and great to see you in the chat.
We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back. Well, I think the message this evening is we inherited a mess, and we've done a great job, and we continue to. And our country is going to be stronger than ever before very soon. Thank you very much, everybody.
And that's where he's going to close off right there. All right, so we're going to move on from that. Breaking: Bongino to step down as FBI deputy director, leaving job next month. And yes, we saw this on social media yesterday. And
welcome back, everyone, here to a live now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. We come back on the air for you with some breaking news regarding Dan Bongino. The FBI deputy director says that he will be leaving his position in the new year. He made that statement today that he will resign from the Bureau next month. And
what's up, Poncho? Great to see you in the chat.
A brief and tumultuous tenure in which he clashed with the Justice Department over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files and was forced to reconcile the realities of his law enforcement job with provocative claims that he made in his prior role as a popular podcast host. The departure, which had been expected, would be among the highest profile resignations of the Trump administration. It comes as FBI leadership has been buffeted by criticism over Director Kash Patel's use of a government plane for personal purposes and social media posts about active investigations. Bongino was always an
which we've heard all of those accusations, and everyone does condemn him for meaning Kash Patel, not Dan Bongino, about his girlfriend having access or whatever being flown around on government fucking funds. I mean, that's bullshit.
Pick for the #2 job at the FBI.
Not even his wife.
A position that historically has entailed oversight of the Bureau's day-to-day operations and typically has been held by a career agent. Though he had previously worked as a New York City police officer and Secret Service agent, neither he nor Patel had any experience at the FBI before being picked for their jobs. Nonetheless, Bongino was installed in the role in March by President Donald Trump after years as a far-right podcast host, where he used his platform to repeatedly rail against the FBI and to encourage conspiracy theories related to the Epstein sex trafficking case and pipe bombs discovered in Washington on January 6th, 2021. He did put out a statement on X just a little bit ago saying, "I will be leaving my position with the FBI in January. I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Most importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for the privilege to serve you. God bless America and all those who defend her."
It seems like that was a fairly good separation here that happened. It doesn't seem like there was anything crazy from what I can tell. I still don't know the internal side of why he's deciding to do this, but it does seem, he's thankful for having the opportunity to serve, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this
Just
at all.
moments ago, President Trump was taking some questions from the media and was asked. Let's bring this to you right here on Live Now from Fox.
No, that's sweet iced tea, Steve Easy. No, it's iced tea this morning. I would tell you.
All right, well, that was a beautiful event for three great people. And they're now looking down, and their parents and wives and all of the people that were there were, devastated, but
Now,
great people.
We heard that part. We already heard that bit.
About Dan Bongino and telling reporters there that he did a great job and says that he wants to go back to his show, meaning the podcast show that Dan Bongino used to host there. So we'll keep an eye on that story. And of course, President Trump will be speaking once again to Americans. That will be happening at 9 p.m.
Okay, and so anyways, we already know about that. We talked about that yesterday. Or we're going to talk a little bit about it this morning. I mean, we know about it from yesterday. Before we get into that, though, where Trump was addressing the nation, we're not going to play the whole thing because we don't need to. But I will play the parts that I do think that are somewhat important. And then, but first, we've got to speak about Speaker Johnson after House passes GOP healthcare bill. Speaker Mike Johnson has now secured a significant victory as House Republicans passed a bill aimed at reducing health care costs. This comes as insurance premiums are set to rise in the coming weeks. The legislation passed 216 to 211. Only one Republican voted no, and that was Thomas Massey of Kentucky, which is, Republican, obviously, but he's the one Republican that voted no on it. And then every single Democrat voted no as well, but it still passed. So let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it briefly. There we go.
All right, everyone, you are watching Live Now from Fox. Let's continue on Capitol Hill. We have Speaker Johnson speaking to reporters right now.
Healthcare bill that will bring down the cost of healthcare. The Lower Premiums for All Americans Act does exactly what the title suggests. It will reduce premiums for all Americans by, on average, at least 11% overall. And that's just the beginning. There will be much more to come, more ideas in the first part of next year to bring down the cost of healthcare. And what the bill did, in addition to that tonight, is it increases the quality of care, the access to care. It gives persons more options, more flexibility in their healthcare, and also it adds transparency. We had the PBM, Pharmacy Benefit Manager transparency piece to it as well. Now, contrast that with the Democrats' COVID.
What's up, Bake? Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. Definitely know that we are.
That they wanted to extend. That would only impact 7% of Americans. The bill we just passed impacts 100% of Americans. Their version would impact 7% of Americans, and it would cost taxpayers $350 billion. That is not the way to reduce the cost of health care. The Democrats do not want a solution they just demonstrated because they voted against this bill. They want an issue for the election. It is based on a false narrative. The Democrats broke America's health care system when they gave us the ACA, the Unaffordable Care Act, 15 years ago, they promised that premiums would come down, that access would increase, and quality of healthcare would increase. None of that happened because it's a flawed system. Their response right now is to subsidize and continue to shovel taxpayer dollars onto a broken system. We say enough is enough. The Republican Party is the party that is bringing the ideas forward to fix this crisis and fix this problem for everyone. It is a serious problem. We took a big step tonight to do that. We hope that this gets signed into law quickly because it will have the desired effect. We hope the Senate can get this done in short order. We'll be back in January to do much more of this, more policies, more ideas ahead, policy changes to fix the broken healthcare system again that was broken by the Democrats. So I'm glad the Republicans stood together tonight. Big night for us. We'll have another day on the legislative floor tomorrow, and then we will probably wind up the year. So I wanted you to have that update.
So will you let the subsidies expire? You're prepared to let the House go home and let the subsidies expire?
They got a sufficient number of signatures on a discharge petition for that subsidy, which is not good policy, as I've just explained. But it's inevitable that it comes to the floor for consideration. I think the 7 legislative days have to toll. That's the rule. There's no way around that. And so it would be on the floor that first week of January when we return. And we would have it's not possible to do so. The discharge petition has a rule that cannot be broken. 7 legislative days must expire before it's considered on the floor. They could go by way of a rule to bring it to the floor in regular order, but that rule is not going to pass because, again, it's terrible policy, and that's what the Republican Party understands. And I think the American people understand when they get past the false narrative that the Democrats have tried to create. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and the other Democrats are going to try to say, by some stretch of the imagination, that the Republicans are responsible for the failed healthcare system, when Republicans have not voted for that system for 15 years. This is the Democrats' creation. We have to fix it, and that's what we've begun to do now, and we'll continue to do in the new year.
But on the discharge petition, does this act of defiance from 4 of your own members who said this is a critical issue change your mind?
It's not an act of defiance. I understand what they're doing. I understand that every member has a different district with different dynamics and different demographics. And some of them felt like it was a really important thing to have a vote on the floor. I tried very hard, and they will all tell you that. I tried very hard over the last several weeks and even through the weekend and as late as yesterday, trying to engineer a way for them to have a vote on the floor so they could show that priority. But it was not to be. You've heard all the machinations of how it came about. There's no ill will here. This is not a challenge to the Speaker's leadership. They're using the rules. Here's the reality, everybody. We have a small majority. We have a razor-thin majority, a record small majority. And so things operate differently when you have a small majority. In the old days, a discharge petition would never be used by the majority party or anybody in it because the Speaker had a long stick that he would administer punishment for that. Okay, I don't have that because we have a small margin. So I love all these guys and ladies that I work with. I understand what their concerns are. We talked about it at length. I was in those rooms with them, and we had, as we say in the Deep South, you hear me say, let's have some intense fellowship, but it's all good. Everybody's in good spirits now, and everybody understands what's happening. I don't know if you just saw that on the floor. There's great collegiality and partnership and friendship on the floor, and that continues.
Did you mishandle?
Yeah, within your party maybe, but the divide is serious. I mean, just look at the last few votes on anything. Democrats have voted no on everything, and Republicans have voted yes, essentially. But anyhow, I don't know if we're going to get much more out of this. We're going to move on. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of what Trump said yesterday when he was addressing the nation last night. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it briefly.
Tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interest to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400.
To answer this question, by the way, he says it's from tariffs. He's saying that's how he's gotten the ability to be able to do shit like this was from tariffs.
500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I use the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called most favored nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody. Or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot and mortgage.
Because I have them sped up by 1.25, just so you know.
Payments will be coming down even further early the new year, and you will see this. In the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, The vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months,
all right,
our border is secure.
Okay, so I don't need to hear anymore. That is where we're going to leave that part off. We're going to move on because we got so much to get to. Anyways, so ICE in Chicago, video captures apparent arrest by federal agents. So let's go ahead and bring this up. We'll go ahead and discuss this.
But we want to continue to bring you some of the
very quick update, by the way, and then we're getting into the drug boat strike that just killed 4 people.
Latest top headlines that we are following for you. Our next story takes us out to Chicago, where tonight there is a growing concern after federal immigration agents were seen operating in Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood. A woman says that she was threatened while trying to document what was happening. So let's go out right now to that area. Fox 32 Chicago's Leslie Moreno joining us here with the latest of these ICE operations.
Hey, good evening. Yeah, we just spoke with a woman who, as you said, claimed she was confronted and threatened by a federal agent on Tuesday morning in Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood, 4600 block of South Francisco Avenue. She claims that she was simply recording what was a man being detained by federal agents when a federal agent pointed a gun at her. She says the entire ordeal was absolutely traumatizing. We have that video to show you here. Federal officers were seen in the Brighton Park neighborhood Tuesday morning, prompting community members to come outside and record what they say were immigration enforcement operations. One of those neighbors is Viviana Corral, who we spoke with this evening. She's a U.S. citizen who tells me she was filming agents who appeared to be detaining that man in that video. That's when she says an armed federal agent confronted her. Corral says the agent opened a vehicle door and pointed a gun directly at her, warning her to stop recording.
He just opened the door and told me, "You better not do it." And he just pointed his firearm at me. And I went like this because I thought he was going to actually throw something at me because I couldn't.
What's up, SST? Great to see you in the chat, by the way.
See what it was. It just looked like a metal thing. Until
What's up,
the guy in
TVT?
the back, he opened the door and pointed his gun at me too. And that's when I seen it was a firearm. And I went to him and I said, "Well, shoot me then. If you want to shoot me, just shoot me. Go ahead."
Were you scared? I mean, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was more in shock that they did that to me than being scared. Of course, I'm like, oh my God, he almost shot me. But I was just more in shock that they would even do that to me because I was not touching their door. I was not
Seymour in the building as well. Shout out.
screaming. I
Great
was
to
not
see you
doing
guys.
anything wrong for them to even point it at me.
And we did reach out to DHS, Department of Homeland Security, to see what exactly happened, what prompted this response by that federal agent. We are still waiting to hear back. For now,
And we'll see how that report comes out. Probably nothing. Okay, so drug boat strike kills 4 in Eastern Pacific, U.S. military says. The U.S. military announced Wednesday that a strike on an alleged drug boat was carried out in the Eastern Pacific, killing 4 people. So this is the latest drug boat strike that has happened, and that happened yesterday. All right, let's go and bring it up.
Breaking news we want to get to tonight. Another strike on an alleged drug boat. This is from U.S. Southern Command. They say on December 17th, at the direction of the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, Joint Task Force Southern Spear conducted a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel operated by a designated terrorist organizations in international waters. Intelligence confirmed that the vessel was transiting along a known narco-trafficking route in the Eastern Pacific and was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. A total of 4 male narco-terrorists were killed and no U.S. military forces were harmed. And we do have video that was released by Southern Command showing that boat strike. And this is it right here on your screen. Again, the U.S. military announcing that it attacked a boat accused of smuggling drugs in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, killing 4 people on board. As we just heard, the U.S. Southern Command says that the vessel was operated by narco-terrorists along a known trafficking route. The military didn't provide evidence behind the allegations, but they did post this video of that boat moving through the water before you see an explosion on board. Now, this attack brings the total number of boat strikes to 26 while at least 99 people have been killed. That's according to numbers announced by the Trump administration. And Trump has justified the attacks as a necessary escalation to stem the flow of drugs into the United States. He says the U.S. is engaged in an armed conflict with drug cartels. Again, the U.S. military announcing it has attacked a boat accused of smuggling drugs in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, killing 4 suspected narco terrorists on board. We will continue to follow that breaking news and bring you any updates.
Of course, as we do. That's what we do here. Fuck those guys. Come to me. All right, so we're moving on. New footage shows Brown University shooting person of interest. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this up. See if we get any type of actual new footage that's worth a shit here.
Right now, I do want to take you out to some of the big stories that we are covering here at this hour. Take a look as
we got
it is now.
Finally a little bit of a facial shot, because every shot of this dude has been shot from the side, and he's like wearing a face mask or some shit, or from the behind, and it shows just the back of his hood. You know what I mean? So this is the best picture yet.
Day 6 of the search for the gunman in this past weekend's deadly mass shooting on the Brown University campus. Providence police releasing surveillance images Wednesday of a second person saying this individual was, quote, in proximity to that person of interest, and they want to speak with the person, not elaborating, though, when asked to explain a little bit further. We also have this image right here that is coming in of the photo. You can see it there, but I want to show a photo of a map that police did release showing the streets where the person of interest in the Brown University shooting is confirmed to have been on the day of the attack. Streets that are marked in green do indicate where footage confirms that person of interest was present in the hours before the shooting, red showing where the person was right after the shooting, and blue showing the location where investigators are seeking property or vehicle camera footage from any time of day on the day of the attack.
Following up on a note that the Colonel made with respect to AI-generated images and other misinformation, we have created an online folder with all of the video and images that have been released. And we encourage both members of the press, but also members of the community. We know lots of people are sharing information, and we appreciate that. We think that will help with this investigation.
So they just want as much information from the public as possible. I mean, that's what the FBI is known for doing as well. The government in general, whenever they can't figure out something, they go to the public, you know, and that's exactly how this shit does end up working out for these guys.
We encourage them to download and share the videos and photos from the website that has been created so that you can ensure that you're sharing an accurate and verified photo and video.
So we have. And that right there was the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island. Now, if you're not too familiar with everything we know so far, 2 students died and 9 others were wounded when a gunman opened fire in the engineering building on campus Saturday afternoon. Police did eventually release this video right here showing what they describe as a person of interest. Now, police...
We got Provo Fresh up in the building. Shout out to my man. Thank you for the $5. That was extremely far. Thank you very, very much for that. Making it rain up in here. All right.
Saturday announcing a suspect was in custody, but then corrected the statement to say they did not have the shooter. The next morning, investigators revealed they detained a person of interest, and later in the day, they explained that person was determined not to be the shooter and was let go, leaving a search underway for the gunman. Then, these enhanced photos of the person of interest they are looking for now.
That's where he had the face mask on.
So I do want to bring in Toby Braun, founder of American Special Investigative Group, to discuss. Thank you so much.
No, I don't care. I don't need you to discuss it to me. That's all we need to know right there. Okay, so let's see if we have anything else on the lineup here. There is the healthcare vote. House Democrats call for ACA vote before Christmas break. This just came out 38 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and discuss this. And this will be our, believe it or not, our final story for the morning, believe it or not. We're set up.
As we keep a live
that was all
look
10.
at the different feeds here, we now do have Democrats, including Hakeem Jeffries, walking up here to talk all about health care and what happens next. So let's lift up the audio and listen in.
speed them up a little bit.
Good morning, everyone. All year, Democrats have been united in sounding the alarm on the healthcare crisis that Republicans are creating in this country. It started with Republicans' budget and their big ugly bill, the largest cut in healthcare in U.S. history. And now, Speaker Johnson's refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Of course, we know that this is nothing new for Republicans. For more than a decade, they have been hell-bent on repealing the Affordable Care Act without putting forward an alternative in its place. And as we saw this week, nothing has changed with House Republican leadership, but something has changed within their own ranks. Yesterday, 4 House Republicans finally joined with Democrats on our discharge petition to force a vote on a clean 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
What's up, Rebecca, up there in Canada, by the way? Great to see you.
House Democrats know that Americans cannot afford to pay an extra $1,000 every year for their health care, especially...
We all agree the insurance companies are price gouging and fucking up the whole system right now. We should be able to hold the insurance companies at this point accountable. That really doesn't have much to do with anything to do with what the Triple B passed. Basically, they just got a whole bunch of fucking illegals off of our Medicare or Medicaid or whatever the case is. Got them off this shit. I mean, we had millions of people on that shit, and now they're cut. From the Triple B allowed that to happen. Now, I don't really see anything there for cutting of any other spending or anything else on a legislative side. So now, logically concludes that these insurance companies are price gouging and fucking up. Dude, I understand I'm a big capitalist as well, but if everyone needs to have insurance, they shouldn't fucking be able to skyrocket the fucking prices. There should be a limit on these things. But unfortunately, these companies are not out for our best interest. They're in the interest of making money
in this economy. And when people don't have health insurance, they don't stop getting sick. They don't stop needing medication. They don't stop needing care for them and their kids. And as Leader Jeffries has said all along, this is the only real plan on the table to ensure that Americans' premiums don't skyrocket by the end of the year. We have the votes, we have the momentum, we have the American people on our side. Let's not waste another second. Speaker Johnson, bring this bill to the floor right now. Next, our amazing whip, Catherine Clark.
Thank you so much, Chairman Aguilar, and good morning, everyone. A reporter asked Speaker Johnson yesterday if he's lost control of the House because 4 Republicans joined 214 Democrats to force a vote on health care. But here's the truth. It's not about Speaker Johnson. Yesterday was the American people reclaiming the people's house and proclaiming that health care is a right and not a privilege for the wealthy. Dr. King.
Real quick, we got Road Reality up in the building. Shout out to my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. Definitely appreciate having you in here.
He told us of all forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking.
You're very wrong, by the way, this comment. This is, unfortunately, you're very ignorant and arrogant. If you look back, there was actually like 1.9 million of them on. So it was actually documented, exposed. So you can say whatever the fuck you want to say about, oh, they can't get on our healthcare system. Absolutely they did. Fuck out of here with your bullshit.
Inhuman. And the first year of this administration has certainly been shocking and inhuman. At every turn, Trump and his loyalists in the House have chosen injustice. They have made the morally corrupt choice to take health care away from people who work hard for a living to fund tax cuts for the very wealthiest. They were so eager to pass these permanent tax cuts for the billionaire class.
So, Mr.
They called us back from recess in July, all at the expense of the health and financial security of working families. That is how they have chosen to lead. The Republicans chose to shut down government. They chose to leave town rather than negotiate with us on a solution. They chose to ignore skyrocketing premiums.
What's up, Dwayne? Good morning to you as well. Happy Thirsty Thursday to all of you legends. Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way, and double tap on the vertical side. You guys don't have to like all the craziness in the world, but you guys can like it for me and what we do here, man.
They chose to build a ballroom for their cronies rather than build a strong middle class. But thanks to the unity of this caucus, the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries, and the resolve of the American people, Democrats have secured a vote on extending the ACA tax credits.
Hank knows exactly what's up.
The only question
It's all political theater, man.
remains is when. And I humbly suggest it should be today. So Speaker Johnson, don't send us home without a vote. Put this bill on the floor. The American people are watching, and they deserve a vote. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our leader, Hakeem Jeffries.
Great, we get to hear Timu Obama. Shit.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Pete.
Real quick, we got Michelle Fury coming in with the $5 saying, thank you for your hard work. Man, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Goes a long freaking way. So thank you for making it rain in the chat, Michelle.
You House Democrats.
Great to see you in the chat.
For always showing up, standing up, and speaking up for the American people. And because of the leadership of House Democrats, of this House Democratic Caucus, we've successfully secured a vote with a successful discharge petition to protect the health care of the American people and extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. We're here gathered on the House steps with one last thing remaining. We want to make clear to Mike Johnson that the American people deserve a vote on the Affordable Care Act tax credit legislation and deserve that vote today. No more excuses, no more delay, no more burying your head in the sand. Under no circumstances should the House of Representatives adjourn until we successfully extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. The American people deserve a vote today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, today.
Today.
Republicans have had all year.
We got Hank coming in with the 2 Canadian, man. I very much appreciate you making it rain as well. Thank you very much for that, kind sir.
To address this healthcare situation. But they've been too busy trying to jam their extreme agenda down the throats of the American people. Republicans have been too busy enacting reckless tariffs that increase costs on everyday Americans by thousands of dollars per year. Republicans have been too busy gutting the health care of the American people. Republicans have been too busy ripping food from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans. Republicans have been too busy enacting massive tax breaks for their billionaire
Good morning, extra surprise.
donors. And Republicans have been too busy treating the Congress like it's a wholly owned subsidiary of the Trump cartel. Let me be clear about something. We ain't down with any
I got you, SST.
of that. House Democrats aren't here to bend the knee to Donald Trump. We're here to bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice. We believe.
Why are you gay?
As House Democrats, that the cost of living in this great country is far too high, that America is too expensive, that far too many people, working class folks, are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck, can't thrive, can barely survive. That the most important thing that the Congress should be doing is driving down the high cost of living to make life more affordable for everyday Americans. We believe that in this great country, that when you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to live an affordable life, a comfortable life, to live the good life. Not too complicated in the wealthiest country in the history of the
To live the good life, you got to be making that good bread. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. If Can't be having no good life living off the government.
World. We believe that when you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to live the good life. Good paying job, good housing, good health care, good education for your children, and a good retirement, which means keep your hands off our Social Security and our Medicare at all times. And Democrats believe in this great country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, that access to high quality health care can't simply be a privilege that's only available to the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected. We believe as Democrats that in this great country, health care that's affordable and accessible is a right that should be available to every single American. That's what we believe, and that's what we're fighting hard to achieve.
Please wrap it up.
A few moments later.
Now, unfortunately, all year, the American people have been dealing with this Republican health care crisis that is devastating everyday Americans. And we're here to call it out. We're here to provide a moment of clarity. Republicans have enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country, including in rural America, because of toxic Republican policies in their one big ugly bill. Republicans have launched an all-out assault on the Centers for Disease Control, the National Institute of Health, the Food and Drug Administration, on vaccine availability for children, and on public health. And because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of Americans are at risk of being unable to go see a doctor when they need one. The Republican health care crisis is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And our message to Mike Johnson is clear. You can run, but you cannot hide. The American people are horrified. Republican leaders are petrified, but House Democrats are unified, standing up on
Oh my
behalf of the
God,
American
that was really cheesy.
Bruh. To protect their health care. And so we're demanding a vote today on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Today, not tomorrow.
It's not going to happen.
Not next week, not next month, today. And our promise to the American people is that we will continue to fight to drive down the high cost of living, continue to fight to fix our broken health care system, and we will continue to stand up for Medicaid, for Medicare, for the Affordable Care Act, for our hospitals, for our nursing homes, for our community-based health clinics, for the health care of every single American. House Democrats are in this fight until we win this fight. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care, and extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits now. God bless you, and God bless the American people.
All right. That concludes the morning right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we got our redirect, the same man that we're going to do it to, that he's live. Because sometimes I go to send people off to a raid, and then the fucking person ends by the time I send you guys over. So anyways, we're going to send you guys over to Black Dragon. Make sure you guys stick around for that, and let them know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. And as well, just so you guys know, we're going to be back here tomorrow morning, as you guys already know. Monday through Friday, this is what we do. We condense everything down from the last 23 hours from the show, and we condense it all the way up till current time. So this is what we do Monday through Friday, and then Saturday morning is members only. So it's such a great time to be able to give back and hang out with all of you guys. So anyways, much love, honor, respect to everybody. Thank you all very much for being here. I can't do this shit without you guys. So I'm very blessed. All right. God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.